So whenever I'm on Reddit or when I stream, I would see this question pop up from time to time, and that is lethality good? To simply put it, no. But why? Why is this a common question, and why is it bad now? Well, we're going to discuss that. For starters, the reason why I think Lethality Gangplank is popular is because early Season 7, Lethality got a massive buzz, and the meta at the time was Lethality Champions. I remembered every game it was Gen and Varus ADC because those two ADCs could abuse Lethality the best. Gangplank abused Lethality, but not as good as Rengar or Kha'Zix, but it was the build at the time. Especially since the moment he was reworked in Season 5, he was constantly getting hit with nerf after nerf after nerf to the point where any buff or indirect buff could have revived. Well, now we know why it's popular, but let's figure out why it's bad today. So when explaining why crit is better than lethality, I'm going to discuss the pros and cons with both builds, starting crit. So what are the pros and cons with crit? The pros will be more damage in a good late game. The cons will be the build will cost money and you'll be less mobile. Going this build, you'll get 10 more AD than lethality, but your barrels are able to crit. When building IE, your critical strikes deal 225% damage instead of 200%. To know how much damage your crits can do, let's make an easy example. So let's say you have 100 attack damage. If you were to crit, you'll have to add 100 plus 100 plus 100 times 0.25 and then add another 20, 45, 70, 95, or 120. Depending what rank your Q is. By doing this equation, you'll know how much you can crit. So another example of this will be shown in the clip. I have 2 Infinity Edges, I have 268 AD. So to calculate how much our barrels are going to crit, we add 268, 268, 268 times 0.25 and then 120. Now we should get 723 crit, but we're off by 1 damage somehow. And to make sure I'm right, I tested this again with 3 Infinity Edges, and I think this is just a bug, but we're pretty close. Now the cons when going this build aren't really bad, just a minor inconvenience in my opinion. Crit costs about 1 to 2,000 more gold depending on what items you buy, which isn't a lot. Well, kind of, but paying that much for your barrels to crit is worth it to be honest. But since you're building crit, it's going to take more time to ensure your barrels can crit consistently. Keep that in mind when going this build. What are the pros and cons of lethality? Well, the pros are, you'll hit your power spike sooner, build paths are good, and you save some gold. Now the cons, the build falls off pretty hard compared to crit, and you deal less damage. So number 1 for pros is power spike. When building lethality, you get your power spike sooner. After that, you don't really get any stronger. You kind of start to fall off, which is a major problem for Gangplank since he is considered a late game champion. So why go lethality when you can go crit and utilize more of your kit? Number 2, good build paths. Build paths for lethality items are better than crit. They're cheaper and their component items are better. And number 3 is the cost. The total cost of this build can range from 15,933 to 16,333 gold, depending if you buy Umbrella Glaive instead of another 2,900 lethality item. So you save 1,200 to 600 gold. Now the cons of lethality. As I said before, the cost of lethality isn't worth it to not have your barrels to crit. After 2 or 3 items, you start to wish you could crit with your barrels and do more damage. Now I bet some of you guys are going to ask me, what if I build Ghostblade and crit? This is still bad only because you're deleting your 50% crit by 2,900 gold. When building crit, you want to rush 50% as soon as possible. This will probably lead to another question you guys might ask, and that is, why did we build Ghostblade in Season 7 and not now? Well, in Season 7, Phantom Dancer was very different from the one we have now. Back then, Phantom Dancer was an even better item for Gangplank. It gave you 30% crit, 45% attack speed, movement speed if you were 550 range of a visible enemy, couldn't get creep blocked, and decreases damage taken from the last champion basic attack by 12%. On top of that, it was 2,550 gold prior to patch 7.9. So it wasn't bad delaying your crit since Phantom Dancer was cheap and cost effective. Now I see some builds that go 2 lethality items and crit, don't bother. Lethality Gangplank will never be good unless they hardcore buff lethality items. If you enjoy Lethality Gangplank, by all means have fun. What I'm trying to imply is that the build doesn't have a spot in the meta currently. That's all I had to say about Lethality Gangplank, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any more questions about Lethality Gangplank, ask away. I'll be glad to answer. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow my socials and Twitch stream. I'll try to start streaming regularly once the season starts, so make sure to tune in for that. That's all, and I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.